Hey folks, welcome to Kingsford Smith International Airport in Sydney, Australia. Last flight was from Sydney to Brisbane. Today we're heading from Brisbane to Sydney, so it only makes sense. We are in a leased aircraft today. We are in a Boeing 737-600 from a Canadian carrier called Aeroflyer. It's been leased to Qantas. Haven't gotten around to painting it yet, but it'll be fine for our purposes. How about if we get a jet bridge attached? I saw that jet bridge pull away during the preamble there. We do need a jet bridge. And get this flight going most ricky tick once we get a chance to get on board. We're on board. Let's do a quick check here behind the flight deck. Oxygen for the jump seat passenger is fine. Circuit breakers are showing all in. Emergency escape rope is available. Spare bulbs are available. Registration and airworthiness certificates are here and current. Personal breathing equipment is available. That is fills up with air. You can put the hood over your head, and if the cockpit gets smoky, just push that bubble of air next to the glass and you'll be able to read your flight instruments. There's a crash axe down there. Check the circuit breakers back here along the back. Another emergency escape rope. And make sure the fire extinguisher is showing in the green. Kind of hard to get to that old fire extinguisher. Check the gravity-fed release valves for the landing gear. They're fine. Landing gear pins are available. Well, landing gear pins are actually in the landing gear, but these are spare pins just in case we land at an off-airport site or an airport that's not equipped for a 737. We'll have our own landing gear pins. Okay, now that we've done that, we can hop into the seat. We have ground power available, so battery on, ground power on, position and strobe lights steady, chimes on, a 10-button checked, emergency exit lights are armed in case anyone needs to leave the cabin in a real big hurry. We will leave the upstairs for right now and come down. Flight simulator actions. Doors, cabin door is open. Ground service, oh, back here. Fuel, I know they put way too much fuel in there. We can't fuel if we already have fuel, so I'm going to go to ground services, request a fuel truck, and put in 6,000 kiloliters of fuel as the flight plan calls for. Fuel truck is arriving. Actually, our block fuel is 57.58, just putting in a little extra for insurance. 77 passengers. Cargo is 41.21. So I'm going to go to the payload sheet. 69 passengers in coach. 8 in first class at 77 passengers. Let's put 2,000 pounds in the forward cargo and 2121 in the aft cargo, and that will give us our 4121 that we need. Ground services. The fuel truck is attaching, and let's start the fuel. Okay, now that the fuel is started, we can go back upstairs and finish where we left off. Well, we didn't leave off anywhere. We didn't do anything up here. So, I'll turn the left aft fuel pump on in anticipation of starting the APU. We do a crossfeed check. Crossfeed is off. We got a valve open bright, valve open dim. Crossfeed is on. Crossfeed is off. valve open bright, valve open off. That is fine. Displays are to normal and auto respectively. Navigation switches are to normal. Yaw damper is off. We'll wait for the APU. Secondary control switches are off. Leading edge flaps device, we can test that. That is fine. IRS alignment, align nav on the left system, align nav on the right system. We'll spin this lower dial and it'll tell us that we have 9 minutes in the aligning process. Here on our number 3 radio, our microphone can be selected for the public address system, speakers for VHF 1, nav 1, and marker beacon. Engine, electrical switches are guarded. We have crew oxygen, passenger oxygen is guarded and safety wired. If we break the safety wire, turn that on, all the oxygen mass will drop and our flight will immediately end. We don't want that to happen. We're showing 3 down and green on the landing gear here upstairs, 3 down and green on the landing gear down here. Flaps need to be retracted. Now there's no hydraulic power on right now, so we're not moving any surfaces, just the lever. Cutoff switches are in cutoff. Throttles are in idle. We can set the parking brake, and the speed brake is retracted. Back to the upstairs. Let's turn on the dome light here. Flight recorder test. Test position, the light goes off. Normal position, the light comes on. Mach airspeed warning test, system number 1, that's fine. System number 2, that's fine. Stall warning test, system number 1, that's fine. System number 2, that's fine. Wipers are off. Bus transfers, power is on ground power right now. Standby power switches are guarded. Battery is indicating 24 volts DC. Battery bus is showing 28 volts DC on the bus. We're getting ground power at 115 volts AC. That is fine. Galley power is on. Circuit breaker and panel lights are turned up. Equipment fuel supply is on. We are getting our fuel, so we'll leave the seatbelt sign off for now. We've tested the attend button. We are venting to the atmosphere, so we have no cabin climb pressure and no differential pressure. Do a cockpit voice recorder test. 1, 2, the light goes green, that's fine. Forward entry door is the only door open. We have no hydraulics on the aircraft. Wing anti-ice and engine anti-ice are off. Probe heat is not turned on. We'll wait until we push from the gate. We'll turn on the window heat lights. Supply duct temperature is 24 degrees. Passenger cabin temperature is 19 degrees. The air conditioning is set to auto. We're going to turn the recirc fan to auto, and the packs can go on. Isolation valve to auto. As soon as we get that APU, we'll start to get some air conditioning. We'll go to dual bleed in anticipation of engine start. We are showing elevation here at, let's see here. I want to get an elevation. Is 21 here at Kingsford Airport. 21 on the altitude, so that's what was set here in the altitude panel, just in case we need to come back quickly. We are filed for 33,000 feet, so I'll set the cabin pressure altitude for 33,000, and that should be fine. How are we doing on our fuel process? We're getting closer. Okay. Flight directors can come on. Our departure runway heading will be 34, as we're looking for 34 left on the departure. Wonderful. Let's get an ATIS if we can.
Weather is not currently available for Kingsford Smith. Arriving and departing runway 34 left, 34 right. Weather is not currently available for Kingsford Smith. Arriving and departing runway 34 left, 34 right.
Well, basically that was pretty useless. All we got from there is the runway. How about clearance delivery? I want to make sure I have my departure. 3-4 left, we're going to be on the RIC 5, which is basically radar vectors to the Richmond NDB. We'll load that in for our departure. Our arrival will be on the runway 1 to Blake 4A. Blaka is our arrival, and the last thing we need is our approach. I always like to have an ILS approach if possible. Runway 1 left. Oops, 1 left. And Tannic will be our transition. That's fine. So we are loaded in. We'll file that. And let's get our clearance. Sydney, clearance delivery. Qantas 4-3, ready to copy.
Qantas 43 is cleared to Yankee Bravo Bravo November. Fly the RIC 5 departure with the RIC transition, then as filed. Expect departure runway 34 left. Climb to 4,000 feet via the departure. Expect higher clearances 2 minutes after departure. Departure on 123.0. Squawk 5432.
Qantas 43 is cleared to Yankee Bravo Bravo November. Fly the RIC 5 departure with the RIC transition, then as filed. Climb to 4,000 feet via the departure. Expect higher clearances 2 minutes after departure. Departure on 123.0. Squawk 5432. Qantas 43.
Qantas 43 rear back correct. Altimeter not currently available. Contact ground on 121.7 when ready for pushback. Have a nice day.
Altimeter not currently available. Ground on 121.7 Qantas 43.
We have released the fuel truck as he has finished fueling. I don't have an altimeter setting, but I do know it's not in inches of mercury. It's in hectopascals. So we'll switch over to hectopascals here. Don't remember ever getting a squawk code that was so easy, 5432. But we'll take it, 5432. And we'll go to standby on the TCAS system. We'll select VHF1, NAV1, and marker beacon on the pilot flying, not flying side. His microphone is set at position 2. Position number 1, VHF, NAV1, and marker beacon on the pilot flying side. Number 1 position on the microphone. And the RIC 5 procedure is based on the 347 NDB, the Richmond NDB. So we'll do a procedure. We'll do a procedure brief. Richmond track to RIC NDB, then it is cleared. So take off from 34 left and track to the Richmond VOR 347, and then somewhere along the route we'll be given radar vectors to our course. So we need 347 on the NDB. And we'll flip-flop that into the main. We have our fuel, so let's get the passengers aboard. Passengers sign on. And let's start up the passenger program. Sydney to Brisbane, flight number 43, 38,000, should be 33,000. Hour, 11-minute flight, 24 minutes to take off. We are equipped with Wi-Fi and entertainment system. We can play some boarding music, best boarding music in the world. Custom safety brief. The safety brief I have for a 737 right now is Delta, so we'll play the Delta safety brief. The flight does continue and start. You'll start hearing the pitter-patter of little feet as they plinkety-plinkety in the background. And we can run our first checklist. And the checklist will be our pre-flight checklist.
Pre-flight checklist. Oxygen.
Tested.
IRS.
Nav and align.
Hydraulic panel.
Set.
Pack.
Set.
Window heat.
On.
Flight instrument.
Heading set. Altimeter set.
Throttle.
Closed.
Fuel control switches.
Cut off.
Parking brake.
Set.
Checklist complete.
Okay, that is complete. However, we unfortunately didn't. Whoa, there goes the jet bridge. Got to get those passengers aboard. We did not do a oxygen test, I'm afraid, so we can do that. Oh. Oxygen test for the pilot flying. We did an oxygen pad test in the back, but not for the pilot flying. We'll let the first officer do her own check. We can also check the bulbs here on the autopilot, pilot flying side, and pilot not flying side. We'll do an annunciator light test. Every light in the house, every bulb, every filament, every element, lit bright and clear. No burnt out bulbs to be found. That test is fine. We can do a test on the fire detection system. I kind of want to move the camera for this one. Oops. Okay, so I want to clear the recall, and when I move the switch to the left, we should get overheat up here in the recall, and these two lights should come on. So left switch. There it goes. That is correct. Now we'll do a test on the fire system itself. That is correct. We'll do a test on the squib discharge bottle system for engine number 1 in the APU, and again for engine number 2. And we'll do a test for smoke in the cargo area. That's fine. And finally, we'll do a cockpit, a ground proximity warning test. Oh. Not quite ready for that one yet. Let's start feeding the beast. We are in a Boeing 737-600 model. Engines are rated at 22,000 pounds of thrust. Our air cycle is expired, but we'll use it. Position initialization. Here's our last position. We can tell the system that we are in Sydney, Australia. Our gate is 31, but I don't think it's going to register. Nope, not in the database. That's fine. Let's go to the next page and pull out one of our GPS coordinates. And you can see that it's going to be real close to where we are now. That's fine. And routing. Our destination is YBBN. We are QFA, Qantas Foxtrot Alpha, flight number 43. And our routing is a little complex. I'll do this as fast as I can. Intra. We are in the southeast hemisphere of the globe. So that's the one. And usually the first one is the closest one. Matla. And then to Craven. And to Sortie. Southeast hemisphere. The other ones are northeast and southwest, so southeast is the correct one. Lascaux. Then it's to Viga. And Gamble. southeast quadrant of the Earth. Then to, that's it. Okay, so the arrival is on the, to runway 1 left.
On behalf of the cabin crew, I'd like to welcome you aboard our flight. As you find your seat, be sure to place your larger carry-on items in the overhead bins and smaller items underneath the seat.
YBBN arrival is to 1 left on the blank 4A with Tannic as a transition.
If the overhead bin is full
Departure
after the carry-on inside of it, please close the
on
bin
the
as a
RIC
courtesy to other passengers.
3-4 left.
Once all your items are put away, please clear the aisle and sit down in your seat to allow other passengers to find their seats as well. If you are seated in an emergency exit row, please read the exit seating responsibilities in the safety card in the seat back in front of you. Please make sure you are willing and able to perform the actions required. If you are not able or prefer not to perform these actions, please let a flight attendant know so you can be reseated. Now's the time to get out any last-minute text messages if you need to, but we ask that once we depart from the gate, you put away any laptops or tablets.
Gamble
Thank you, and welcome
Blackout.
aboard.
That is correct. Okay.
From the flight deck, this is your captain speaking. Welcome on board our flight. We'll be departing soon and we're aiming for a smooth flight. Thanks for flying and we'll keep you informed of any changes as they happen.
Payload. Okay, our payload is already set. 8 in first class, 69 in economy, 2,000, 2,100. We have 77 passengers, so 69 and 8 is the breakdown. 41, 21 on the cargo, so 2,000 in the front, 21, 21 in the aft. That is set for 41, 21. Our fuel is at 6,000 pounds, so we're set. Reserves, company standard is 2.2. Cost index, also a company standard at 56. Transition altitude here in Australia is 10,000 feet. We are flying at flight level 330. Top of climb winds are 280 at 71.
Taxi channel 1, holding platform 2, unit 1763.
We can execute that. N1 limit, we're going for a D-rated takeoff and a climb to shallow takeoff. Flap setting is 5. Runway 34 left. Center of gravity is computed at 22%, 5.95 on the trim. There's 5.95. And we can verify our V speeds, and V2 can go upstairs into the window 127 on our speed. And that will finish up our MCP panel. ADF is set because our first waypoint is that beacon. And now we can go upstairs and fire up the APU. And a collision light on. APU on. And start. Yaw damper switch can come on. I'm going to check with the folks outside about the aircraft.
Cockpit to ground. Go ahead, flight deck. Confirm all ground checks complete. We're cleared to pressurize the hydraulics.
All ground checks are complete and you are cleared to pressurize the hydraulics.
Great, let's pressurize the hydraulics. Exhaust gas temperature gauge coming up, and when it falls into its operational range, we can transfer the available APU power, which will show up available here. We'll transfer that onto the aircraft. There we go. Now that that's transferred, let's come back down here and we will cut ground, we'll release ground power, and we'll also release the wheel chocks. Legs on the pilot flying side, takeoff reference on the pilot not flying side. And let's check on the boarding.
We're ready to go when you are.
Oh, ready to go. Great. Let's hop outside and kill that jet. Well, jet bridge is already off.
And welcome aboard Flight 43 with service to Brisbane. Our flight time will be roughly 1 hour and 11 minutes. Please note the cabin door is now closed. We ask that you make sure that all devices are in airplane mode and your larger devices are now shut down and stowed. If you have not already, please fasten your seatbelt and verify it is low and tight across your lap. Your tray tables and seatbacks must be in the full upright and locked.
Cockpit to ground.
Go ahead, flight deck.
We will be ready shortly.
Roger.
Sydney ground. Qantas 43 requests pushback and engine start.
Qantas 43 pushback and engine start approved.
Pushback and engine start approved. Qantas 43.
Cockpit to ground.
Go ahead, flight deck.
We are ready for pushback and engine start.
Roger. Release the parking brakes, please.
Okay, sir. The bypass pin is installed. All doors and hatches closed and all ground equipment is removed.
The parking brakes are set. You may lift.
Parking brake set. Lifting the aircraft. Standing by for pushback.
Cockpit to ground.
Go ahead.
We are cleared for start and push.
Okay, cleared for push start.
Parking brakes are released. It will start in the sequence.
Before start checklist. Doors.
Closed.
Fuel. 5,9,4 kilograms. Passenger signs.
Passenger signs are on.
On.
MCP. Heading 0.
Ladies and
Altitude
gentlemen,
0.
please direct your
Set.
attention
Takeoff
to the
thrust.
screen for an important safety demonstration. Thank you for flying with us.
Set.
Takeoff speed.
Welcome aboard, and thanks for flying
Set.
with Delta.
CTU
Our first
pre-flight.
priority on every flight
Completed.
is safety.
Taxi and
So
takeoff
before we
briefing.
depart, I'll be giving a
Completed.
brief safety
Beacon light.
presentation. Okay, be sure all carry-on items
Okay,
are
pushback
securely
completed.
stowed in an
Please open
overhead
parking
bin.
brake.
And place
On.
smaller items under the seat in
Checklist
front
complete.
of you. And ensure all aisles, exits, and bulkhead areas are clear. And ensure your mobile phones
set
and
parking
electronic
brakes.
devices are turned off.
Parking brakes set.
Parking brake set.
If you're
Lowering
seated at
aircraft.
an emergency exit, please review the responsibilities for emergency exit seating
Ground.
on the back
You may
of your
disconnect.
safety information card, which is
Okay,
in your
sir.
seat pocket.
Clear to
Are you
disconnect.
willing and able
Pin
to
has been
assist with
removed.
the operation
See you
of
at
the
side.
exit if
Have a good
necessary?
flight.
Yes.
Holding position waiting for the
If
visual.
you are unable
Thank
to
you and
perform these
goodbye.
functions, please let us know, and we'd be happy to find you another seat.
Okay, once he's pulled away,
As we
it's
leave
taxi
the gate,
lights
make
on.
sure your seatbelt is fastened. To fasten, Insert the metal tip into the buckle and adjust
Sydney
the strap
ground,
so it's low and
Qantas
tight across
43,
your lap.
ready for taxi,
To release the belt,
runway
just lift the top of the buckle.
34 left.
Please remain seated with your seatbelt securely fastened anytime the seatbelt sign is on. And even if the sign is off, please keep
Sydney
your
ground,
seatbelt fastened
Qantas
in case we
43,
experience
request
unexpected
taxi,
rough
runway
air.
34 left.
For everyone's safety, federal regulations
Qantas
require all
43 taxi
passengers to
runway
comply
34
with the
left via
posted
taxi
placards
Wales
and lighted
Hotel,
information signs
Yankee,
located
Juliet,
throughout the cabin, in
Alpha
addition
6,
to any
also
crew member
runway 07
instructions.
and runway 34
Smoking
left.
is not allowed
Taxi
on
to
any
runway
Delta flight.
34 left via
And federal law
taxiways
prohibits
Golf
tampering
3,
with, disabling,
Hotel,
or destroying
Yankee,
a restroom smoke
Juliet,
detector.
Alpha,
There are 10
Alpha
exits
6,
on this plane.
hold
6
short
doors,
runway
3 on each
07,
side, and 4
runway
window exits
34
over
left,
the wings.
Qantas
Each door has a
43.
detachable slide that can be used as a raft.
Packs
An
off,
additional raft is located
isolation
in a ceiling
valve
compartment
on,
at the back of the plane. All
building
exits are
duct
clearly
pressure,
marked with an exit sign.
N2
However,
is
if there is a
climbing,
loss of power and cabin visibility is reduced, lights will illuminate the aisles to
introduce
guide you
fuel
to an
engine
exit.
number 2,
Please take a moment to find the exits closest to you, and remember, they might be
ground
behind you.
on engine number 1,
It's unlikely, but if
N2
cabin pressure
on
changes,
engine number
the
1
panels
is
above your
climbing.
seat will open, revealing oxygen masks. If this happens, reach up and pull a mask towards you until the tube is fully extended. Place the mask
Introduce
over your
fuel
nose
to
and
engine
mouth.
number 1,
Slip the elastic strap over your head and adjust the mask if necessary. Breathe normally and note that oxygen is flowing, so don't worry if the bag doesn't inflate. Be sure to adjust your own mask before helping others. A water evacuation is also unlikely, but just in case, life vests are located under your seats in the economy
engine
cabin.
number 2 is
If you're
stabilizing,
seated in the first class or business class cabin, life vests are either between your seats, under your seat, or in a compartment under your armrest. To use, remove the vest from its container by pulling on the tab and then opening the pouch. Slip the vest over your head. If your vest
engine
has
number
one
1 is
strap, wrap it around
stabilized,
your waist and attach it to
power
the
on
buckle
the
in front.
engines,
If your vest has 2 straps, fasten the straps to the front of the vest
APU
and
off.
then adjust them loosely around your waist. As you leave the plane, inflate the vest by pulling down
Packs
on the
can
red
come
tabs
back
at the
on.
bottom of the vest
Isolation
or
valve to
manually
normal,
inflate it by
dual
blowing into
bleed
the
off.
tubes at shoulder level. You can activate a light by pulling down on the tab in front, but if your vest doesn't have a tab, the lights will activate automatically in the water. If necessary, we'll distribute infant life vests or other flotation devices for children who weigh 35 pounds or
Taxi
less.
checklist.
Also, most seat
Anti-ice.
cushions can be used
Set.
for flotation.
Isolation valve.
Now, before we take
Recall.
off, be sure your
Check.
seat is upright,
Auto-bay.
your aisle
RTO.
armrests are lowered,
Gap.
your tray table is
Set.
put away,
Gaps.
and all carry-on items are properly
flaps can go to
stowed.
5,
If this plane features Wi-Fi, internet access will be available while we're above 10,000 feet.
Set.
Once
Trim.
airborne, we'll let
Set.
you know when
Flight
you use
controls.
approved electronic devices,
Flight
but note
controls.
that some
Elevator
items
down,
may not be used in
full
flight at any time. You'll find a list
distance,
of approved
no
electronic
deflection,
devices in the in-flight
elevator
information
aft,
section
full
of Sky Magazine.
deflection, no
As we
binding,
come through the cabin for our final
aileron
safety
right,
check,
full deflection,
please
no
let us know if you
binding,
have any
aileron
questions.
left, full
And
deflection,
finally,
no binding,
now would be a good
rudder,
time for
full
everyone
right,
to review the safety information
left.
card, which is in your seat pocket.
flight controls are
On
checked,
behalf of everyone at Delta Airlines, we want to thank you for paying attention
Check.
to our
Ground
safety
equipment.
presentation.
Clear.
Sit
Checklist
back,
complete.
relax, and enjoy the flight.
parking brake off, test the service brakes, getting a configuration warning, what are flaps looking like? Taxi lights are on. Taxi lights don't look on.
The cabin is ready for takeoff.
Now that we're away from the gate, let's turn on the strobes. Beautiful skies thanks to Floyd's big clouds, and this is the 3 layers of big clouds we're enjoying right now. I have stopped using live weather entirely because these clouds have blown me away.
We'll be 7-7, we have information Charlie with taxi Bravo 2.
Oh, look at the fighters!
Charlie 391 Bravo 2.
We got some fighter activity out here today.
From the flight deck, this is your first officer. We just wanted to take a moment to welcome you aboard and thank you for getting up early to fly with us today. We're anticipating a relatively smooth ride with the exception of a few bumps on the way out. Again, thank you for flying with us this morning. We'll talk again when we're airborne.
Just 57, John. Pushback.
Up.
Taxi checklist. Anti-ice.
Set.
Isolation valve.
Off.
Recall.
Check.
Auto brake.
RTO.
Hat.
Set.
Flaps.
Set.
Trim.
Set.
Flight controls.
Check.
Ground equipment.
Clear.
Checklist complete. Before takeoff checklist. Flaps.
Set.
Checklist complete.
One of the bad things about departing Sydney is that you don't get a chance to see the Inner Harbor or the Century Bridge or any of the Opera House or any of the famous landmarks that make up Sydney. You barely get a chance to see them on approach, but you certainly don't have any chance to see them on takeoff. But we do have custom Sydney and Brisbane cityscape landscapes, so hopefully it won't be too boring.
Whiskey, I think it's around 50 road. Second lady, John, perfect.
Landing lights on. Engines to continuous fire. Arm auto throttle. Let's get a clearance. Sydney ground.
Aircraft calling ground, say again with your call sign.
Sydney ground, Qantas 4-3, request departure, runway 34 left.
Qantas 4-3 contact clearance delivery on 133.8 with this request.
I don't want clearance
delivery on 133.8 Qantas 4-3.
If anything, I want Sydney Tower. Sydney Tower, Qantas 4-3, request departure, ready for departure, runway 34 left. Sydney Tower, Qantas 4-3, ready for departure, runway 34 left.
Qantas 43 windows are cleared for takeoff. Runway 34 left, squawk 5432.
Cleared for takeoff.
Qantas 43
climb and maintain flight level 120
120 is our new altitude. We turned the transponder into the TCAS system into the TARA mode. When he said our altimeter setting, that was a clue to me that he didn't see that we were reporting altitude mode. So, start the clock. We have our clearance. Let's boogie, baby. Check for traffic on final. Check for obstructions on the runway. When we hit Toga, our D rate should already be calculated into the Toga calculation. So throttles to 40%.
Thrust set.
Check.
And hit
Speed
the Toga.
alive.
Check.
80 knots.
Check.
There's something else using this airspace. Is that a drone or a Harrier or what is that?
Positive rate.
Gear up.
Landing gear up.
Then start heading toward that NDB.
400 feet.
The blue needle is the NDB. And sometime between now and when we get to the NDB, we should be given a radar vector.
Acceleration altitude.
Qantas 43 contact Sydney departure on 123.0. Enjoy your morning.
Flaps up.
Departure on 123.0 Qantas 43. Departure.
Qantas 43, good morning. Qantas 43.
Autopilot on. LNAV and VNAV. Flaps up. We're getting up to our N1 speed. Flaps up.
Flight 425, descend to 2000 visual. 2000 visual, flight 425.
Flaps 0.
Departure Qantas 43 climbing to flight level 120.
Qantas 43 radar contact.
downtown Sydney.
Climb and maintain flight level 190 Qantas 43.
Sometime before the NDB, we should have been given radar vectors. And let's just say that we were given radar vectors from here. Get to intro, we'll be on our course.
Feet. Transition altitude.
10,000 feet is transition altitude. Let's go to standard.
10,000 feet. You can now turn on your larger portable electronic devices. As a reminder, please keep your seatbelt fastened while
RTO
you're
can come off.
And do not congregate in the galleys or near the lavatory. This aircraft is equipped with onboard Wi-Fi. If you wish to connect to the Wi-Fi, you will be required to pay a small fee. We do offer complimentary in-flight TV thanks to our partners.
Taxi lights can come off.
To find out more information.
Switches can come into normal position.
Fantasy 43 contact Melbourne Center on 129.8. Good.
Center on 129.8. Take care Qantas 43.
We have, this particular airplane has auto propane. But we turned it on anyway.
Qantas 43 climbing to flight level 190.
Qantas 43 good morning. Radar contact. Qantas 43 climb and maintain flight level 260.
Climb and maintain flight level 260 Qantas 43.
Good day, 153, cross level 350. 153, take it up. From the flight deck, this is your captain speaking. We'll be reaching our cruising altitude soon. Everything's looking good up here in the cockpit. Please let your cabin crew know if there's anything that we can do to make this flight a little better for you.
Qantas 43 climb and maintain flight level 330.
Climb and maintain flight level 330 Qantas 43. Center Qantas 43 climbing to flight level 330.
Qantas 43 radar contact.
Center Qantas 43 climbing to flight level 330.
Qantas 43 radar contact.
After takeoff checklist. Landing gear.
Up and off.
Flaps.
Up no light.
Checklist complete.
Qantas 43 contact Brisbane Centre on 125.7. Enjoy your morning.
Center on 125.7 Qantas 43. Center Qantas 43 climbing to flight level 330.
Qantas 43 good morning. Radar contact.
DC Montana 8000, QNH 1023. 8000, I'm 1023, confirming for quantum 608.
700 feet till top of climb. Seatbelt sign can come off. Kind of cool when the clouds go by the eyebrow windows. Like right there. Yeah, real cool when the clouds go by the eyebrow windows. And I'm going to pause the recording and let you folks meet us when it's almost time to come down.
It's 4-3 at flight level 330.
Oh, welcome back.
4-3, good morning. Radar contact.
We have reached a point where we're likely to get our landing instructions at any time. These clouds are marvelous. Sometime before Viga, we should have our landing instructions.
Dragon 32, contact level 210. Level 210, Dragon 32.
Qantas 4-3, contact Brisbane Centre on 122.6. Have a good morning.
Centre on 122.6, Qantas 4-3. Centre Qantas 4-3 at flight level 330.
Qantas 4-3, good morning. Radar contact. Qantas 4-3, expect the ILS approach to runway 01 left with a tonic transition at Brisbane International.
Expect the ILS approach to runway 01 left with the tonic transition, Qantas 4-3.
01 left, okay. So, flaps 40 is 122 knots. We'll set that in our display. 111.5 on the nav radio and 016 on the course. 111.5 on the nav radio. And 016 on the course.
Cessna 560 descending for level 250. 160 descending at AD 10 flight level 130. Descend for level 130, Cessna 560.
Weather is not currently available for Brisbane International. Arriving and departing runway 19er left, 19er right. Weather is not currently available for Brisbane International. Arriving and departing.
No weather yet.
Center Qantas 43 at flight level 330.
Qantas 43 radar contact.
Well, we're all set up for the arrival. Top of descent is coming up pretty soon.
Qantas 43 descend and maintain flight level 270.
Descent and maintain flight level 270 Qantas 43.
Qantas 43 descend and maintain flight level 210.
We hope you're enjoying your flight. We're making good progress here, and we're doing our best to get you in on time.
Qantas 43 maintain flight level 210. Qantas 43 contact Brisbane Centre on 120.3. Enjoy your morning.
Center on 120.3 Qantas 43. Center Qantas 43 descending to flight level 210.
Qantas 43 good morning. Radar contact.
And down we go. Down elevator.
Qantas 43 descent and maintain flight level 150.
Descent and maintain flight level 150 Qantas 43.
Qantas Force Descent and Maintain Flight Level 105.
Descent and maintain flight level 105 Qantas 43.
Descend to flight level 300. Flight level 300, Qantas 970.
Well, we're just screaming along, aren't we? 320 knots, only 500 feet above the 250 knot restriction. Am I doing this on purpose? Absolutely. If I'm given a lower altitude than 10,500, I'm going to have to immediately bring my speed back. We do have an 8,000 altitude restriction just before Yelka, or Velka.
Velocity 779, cancel heading, reclear track direct to Hamilton. Cancel the heading direct to Hamilton, Velocity 779.
Qantas Force contact Brisbane Center on 130 decimal 4 Have a nice day.
Center on 130.4 Qantas 43. Center Qantas 43 at flight level 105.
Qantas 43, good morning. Radar contact.
Let's bring our speed down to 250 knots.
We have begun our final descent into Brisbane. Flight attendants will be passing through the cabin to collect any trash one final time. Please ensure tray tables are stowed and seats are in the full upright position. Please also store any carry-on items either in the seat back pocket or under the seat in front of you. Please complete all Wi-Fi related tasks and stow any larger electronics.
Brisbane Center, Qantas 43, request flight level 080.
Qantas 43, altimeter not currently available.
Altimeter not currently available. Qantas 43.
4925 descend by star 8000 QNH 1023. By star 8000 1023 925.
Brisbane Center, Qantas 43, ready to copy.
Qantas 43 is cleared to Yankee Bravo Bravo November as filed. Climb to flight level 180 via the departure. Expect higher clearances in 10 minutes. Squawk 5432.
Qantas 43 is cleared to Yankee Bravo Bravo November as filed. Climb to flight level 180 via the departure. Expect higher clearances in 10 minutes. Squawk 5432. Qantas 43.
Brisbane Center, Qantas 43, request flight level 080.
Qantas 43, altimeter not currently available.
Altimeter not currently available. Qantas 43.
Well, I'm going to bring myself down to 080 since you're not going to do it for me.
Qantas 43, contact Brisbane approach on 124.7. Enjoy your morning.
Approach on 124.7 Qantas 43. Approach Qantas 43 at flight level 105.
Qantas 43, good morning. Radar contact.
Comes 10,000 feet, we'll go to standard pressure. Landing lights on.
Passing 10,000 feet. Transition altitude.
Runway
Check.
lights on. Engines to continuous fire. Bring your speed down to 230. Actually, bring the speed down to 190. Below 9,000 feet at Birdie. Looks like we're going to meet that. $4,000 is our next constraint.
Tower 425, cancel this start, turn right heading 160, vectors for left base, descend to 4,000.
That's right heading 160, down to 4,000, pilot 410.
Let's go to 170 on the speed and give us our first notch of flaps.
Approach Qantas 43 descending to 8.
Qantas 43 radar contact.
Approach Qantas 43 descending to 8,000 feet. Approach Qantas 43 descending to 8,000 feet.
Qantas 43 radar contact.
Give us 150 and another notch of flaps. Let's set our radio altimeter for 200 AGL on the go around for class 2 or class 3.
Descent checklist. Recall.
Check.
Note.
Check.
Auto brake.
Set.
Landing data.
Check.
Approach briefing.
Completed.
Checklist complete.
Qantas 43
altimeter not currently available. Approach Qantas 43 descending to 4,000 feet.
Qantas 43 radar contact. Qantas 43 radar contact. Qantas 43 descend via the Tunic transition to 4,000 feet.
Descent to 4,000 feet via the Tunic transition. Qantas 43.
.111.5 is the frequency. 111.5.
Glide slope alive.
Glide slope alive.
Approach Qantas 43 descending to 4,000 feet.
Qantas 43 radar contact.
Approach Killing 323 is descending to 8,000 information Yankee.
Killing 323 approach, good day, expect runway 01 right, descend by star to 5,000.
Descend by star 5,000, Killing 323.
VOR lock.
Qantas 43 altimeter not currently available. Contact tower on 118.0. Have a good morning.
Altimeter not currently available. Tower on 118.0 Qantas 43.
We have glide slope.
Tower Qantas 43 inbound for ILS approach runway 01 left.
Qantas 43 good morning. Radar contact. Continue ILS to runway 01 left call when established on final.
Continue ILS to runway 01 left will call when established on final Qantas 43.
Let's get down to our reference.
Landing gear down. Landing gear up. Landing gear down.
down to our reference speed. Lost our glide slope.
Dynasty 051, threshold wind 290 degrees, 4 knots, preferred exit, rapid exit, Alpha 2, runway 34 left, clear to land.
Runway 34 left, clear to land. Okay, yeah, I'm up to that.
Get the rest of those flaps in.
Flaps full.
Still fly-by-wire on our lateral navigation. I think it's going to prevent us from doing an auto land. Oh, here we go.
Antas 43 winds are calm, clear to land runway 01 left.
Clear to land runway 01 left, Qantas 43.
Well, we're down to, I don't have the runway. Oh, there's the runway. Wow! Talk about close. We're right in these trees. We're shaving these trees, baby.
Minimums.
Continue. We got one particular tree right on final.
$100. 50, 40, 30, 20, 10, 10.
Antas 43 exit runway enable.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Brisbane. The local time is 8 a.m. and it's currently about 70 degrees Celsius. You can now use your mobile devices. Please remain seated until the aircraft has come to a complete stop and the seatbelt sign is turned off. Remember to use caution when opening the overhead bins as items may have shifted during the flight. If this is your final destination, we thank you for flying with us. If you're making a connection, we
Qantas 43 is clear of the active.
Antas 43 read back correct. Ultima Ternat currently available. Contact ground on 121.7 when ready for pushback today.
Altimeter not currently available. Ground on 121.7 Qantas 43.
Brisbane ground, Qantas 43 requests taxi to the gate.
Qantas 43 taxi to gate 15 via taxiways Foxtrot 2, Bravo, Charlie 1.
Taxi to gate 15 via taxiways Foxtrot 2, Bravo, Charlie 1, Qantas 43.
Don't see any gate in this direction. Are there any gates down there? Boy, I don't see any gates anywhere. I know I've taken off from this airport before. There's got to be gates. Well, in the interest of time, I'm going to end the recording now. I hope you folks enjoy your day.